it's starts off in a sort of naive sense. The stakes are like stealing mangoes, fighting over which egg you get to get, like spying on the elders. And so there's a really sort of juvenile essence to it. And they're definitely, like, we're called the trio, not in the script, but just in essence. And like the crew will look at us and say, here comes the trio. So we have that in real life as well as in characters, which I love. And then as the stakes get higher, when you're put in a position of like danger or sort of truth comes out, and so you discover that there's a connection between Noah and Soona, and Anaya's always like, what about me, because he's dealing with being a third wheel at the end. But yeah, we have a really strong bond, and I like to say that if one of us goes down, we all go down together. What I love about Soona is that in the previous Planet of the Apes trilogy, women were seen quite as iconic, like the mother or the wife. But what Soona is she's just a whole being, and she's one of the boys. She's doesn't play into sort of the stereotypical ape, which is an interesting thing because in nature the females have a very strict role, and I liked that in the evolution of this trilogy they've also evolved the roles of what a female is in that hierarchy. And so she's a beautiful mix of being sort of tomboy, sturdy, grounded. She needs to fight for what she wants because otherwise the boys overtake. But she's also got a very feminine, delicate, sort of sensitive side. I think she thinks of Anaya as a little brother, so she's quite protective over him. But she's also really cheeky. Like if she wants a mango from one of the elders, she's not going to go and get the mango. She's going to sort of play a game with Anaya. He's going to go and get the mango. She'll be eating the mango, and Anaya will be getting a little slap on the wrist. So she's very intelligent and socially aware, and she, in the same way when you're in high school and you kind of have this crush on one of your boyfriends, but you don't know what it is, it's just a tingling. That tingling is very much alive for Noah and Soona, and it sort of develops as the stakes get higher and she realizes that she doesn't want to lose him and what that means for her. I cannot speak highly enough about our ape training process, and as we call it, ape school. Elaine is such a gentle master at bringing us together, and he really looks for what we naturally hold and how we can evolve that into our character. So we started the first day. I cried. Noah like got put under the spotlight and made feel really uncomfortable. Sass cried. It was very intense, and we were like, oh my gosh, what is this? Take me back to drama school days. But what that did is it broke the bubble, and we created such a strong trust with all of us, and that just kept evolving. And we'd spent hours improvising, which was amazing because you created connections in your characters that were really strong. And in the script, you don't necessarily see Soona and Anaya as whole beings, and like you don't see their whole relationships or their whole journey. And so what we got to do was explore that through improvisation, so that we held that energy and those experiences in our body. And yeah, we became really, really close. And Elaine then learnt our physical vocabulary, so he's with us on set every single day, so he knows where we sit, what we're trying to achieve, which is amazing to have a compass. He's like our compass on set. Working with Wes is incredible. He's very visual, so when he comes and talks to you about a scene, he sort of gives you an energy. He describes the essence of what that scene is trying to achieve, which is really useful, I found, actually. And also, he's such a collaborator, so he's got a team around him, like the producers, Joe and Jason, who are incredible. They're on set with us every single day, and there's a real trust of us doing this together. So if we rework a scene or have a question about a dynamic, they're often involved in the conversation, which is amazing because, you know, there's no ego. We're just all trying to make the best film we can, and I really respect Wes for that. And sometimes he does change the scenes, but they're always for the better. So mad respect. You know, you learn to trust, and he's always listens. He's very generous. He's a collaborator, and you can really have conversations about the character with him before going into the scene. When I came into this project, I thought we'd all be in studio and for the whole shoot, and much to my joy, we're actually on location a lot, and there's much less blue screen than you'd think. Dan, who I know Wes has worked with before, builds the most insane sets. There was one day that I came and I did I was just doing a small scene, and I was like, how did you find this ruin in the forest? As though they'd just found it in location. And Wes looked at me and said, no, this is built. And so then we'd play a game when we go to sets like up in Eagle Clan, Yellow Rock Eagle Clan, where we'd try and guess if a rock was real or not. And you would be surprised how hard it is to spot a real rock. But honestly, yeah, the sets are amazing, and it's quite confronting going into the studio afterwards because it's just you in this big box, and there's no disguise. It's very vulnerable compared to being on location where you've got, you know, you can see the nests, you've got this incredible structure, there's a lot more sort of ethos and atmosphere to a scene comparatively. So Dan has done an incredible job with the sets. They're really beautiful and epic.